Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
All
soon.
time, we got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
Hey y'all, what's up? Good morning. As y'all know, I have a full-time job, so when I schedule these things, unfortunately, my timing can change based on what's happening at my job. So because of that, I was not able to get on at 11 like I had originally posted on my community page. I'm sorry about that. I see there's already a lot of comments in here. I might attend this live because I have a break. However, I might also take a nap because I only slept 2 hours last night. Wow, that's not a lot. I couldn't function on 2 hours. Please show your appreciation to Mark by hitting the like button. Thanks. Yes, please do so. Okay, so I'm caught up with the comments. Before I even start in on this, just to let y'all know, I am not making a post saying that they decided 100% that Izzy is going to go home. But what I am saying is I was seeing all the Twitter feeds and people also on my channel last night saying that Jared is telling Cirie that Izzy should go home. So I looked for it. I looked for it on Twitter. I looked for it on the groups, Reddit. I saw a lot of people saying it, but I don't care when people are telling me that. I always want to see the actual visual footage so I can know what's true and what's not true. So finally, I went back to footage from around midnight or maybe a little bit before of Jared and Cirie having a conversation. And Jared did indeed propose to Cirie. What if we let Izzy go? And we know that Jared has been saying this for a while. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not cool. Sometimes Jared gets angry with Izzy and says she's doing too much. Sometimes they seem to be coexisting well, laughing together, working together. But he said it again. He said something again that he had said earlier. He said, Izzy is the only one in the house who knows our secret, which is not true. But as far as Cirie knows, that's the case, because obviously he has not told his mom about everything that he said to Blue. But as far as Cirie knows, he actually said to Cirie last night, Izzy is the only person who knows our secret. So he's thinking to himself, I think that he's thinking to himself, even though we didn't want Cam to win, and even though we didn't plan for Izzy to go home this week, and even though we do have reason not to trust Felicia, not trusting somebody is different from having a secret that could just blow up your game just like that and end your game and have you guys potentially sitting on the block next to each other and not having that advantage anymore. As time has gone on, I'm trying to think not just as a fan, because as a fan, I definitely want Izzy to stay. But I'm trying to think of if I was in their position, as in Cirie and Jared. Would I want Izzy to go now? Something about Izzy that is really beneficial for them, despite the fact that she knows the secret, is the fact that for some reason, everything, all these moves that are happening in the house are being pinned on Izzy. Yes, everybody is saying Cirie is dangerous. Cirie has been on 5-6 shows for a reason. Cirie. But they're kind of like, Izzy is the linchpin. Because the reason why I think they feel that Izzy is so dangerous is because they don't know why Cirie or Jared is working with her. They just think that she came in and whatever she said to them, I just think that they think that she came in and whatever she said was good enough to just win them over, and naturally, in a natural way. And I think that they just think she formed this very close alliance with Cirie based on telling her, hey, I'm a super fan of yours. They have no idea that there is leverage used there. So Cam saying she's good with everybody. Cam doesn't realize how much Cirie and also Jared are responsible for a lot of what's going on in the house. So what I'm trying to say is, even though Izzy presents a danger at all times of blowing up their secret, Izzy also is the ultimate shield for them, especially for Cirie. Because everyone's like, let's get out Izzy. Let's get out Izzy. Let's get out Izzy. Because if Izzy's not in here, Cirie's not dangerous, which is not true. I would say that Cirie would have to work a little harder without Izzy in the house. But her danger is her danger no matter who's in the house. She would even have been dangerous in the house by herself. I am already amazed that Cirie Fields, that everybody knows, has made it 40 days in this house. I think yesterday they said there were 40 days, which would make today day 41. Imagine Cirie Fields making it 41 days, and it's going to extend to at least Thursday. So like 43 days in the house without even being nominated for the block. Who would think that that's even possible before the show started? Honestly, I'd be okay with Felicia going home, and I think Cirie would love seeing Felicia go. I think that Jared feels more incentive to let Izzy go than Cirie does. Cirie did not shoot down the idea hard. Like, it wasn't the type of conversation when they were arguing over Jag or Blue, which is another thing that I'm interested to see and talk about in a minute. But it wasn't like a hard opposition, like when Jared wanted Blue to stay and Cirie wanted Jag to stay. It wasn't that type of thing. He brought it up to Cirie. Well, what if Izzy goes home? And she was more contemplative. She didn't shoot it down hardcore or anything. She didn't shoot it down at all. She was just kind of like, let's talk through these scenarios. What happens if this happens? Or what happens if that happens? So that means that it is actually in her mind that it's a possibility that it could be good for our game if she goes home. But you know what? Before I even get to this comment, if Izzy goes on the block right now and she comes off the block and she stayed on the block for a whole week and did not tell anybody about the secret to get off the block, I think that will build a lot of trust with Cirie and Jared and her. That's not to say that she couldn't go and stab them in the back later, because she could do that at any time. But I would say that for them, if that happens, I think that they should protect her as much as they can. Obviously, if it's her or them, it's going to be her. But if they don't have to be on the block, they should protect her up until jury, whenever jury is. Because at first I was saying she has to go before jury because you don't know what she's going to do when she gets on the block. But seeing how she's been reacting this week, it's like a sad puppy dog. We still have another day. No, we still have another 2 days. So don't let me speak too soon. I'm just saying what I think as of now. We still haven't even reached Waffle Wednesday yet. Izzy is too important for their game, even if Cam catches on to Jared, which he kind of sort of is getting there right now, and Cam survives the next eviction. He doesn't personally like Izzy. Yeah, he does that. Izzy is the person he dislikes the most. So I think I agree that having her there as a shield in case one of them win is important. Like in case Bowie happens to win, or if Cam wins again, maybe if America wins. Hey there, thank you for that. I'm live from the diary room. Please do not talk about production. Sorry about that. I'm live from my room. I am live from my room. So the idea has been presented. We're going to see today. I'm excited about a lot of things today because like I was talking about last night, America. Okay, let's get to America. America had 2 lengthy conversations with Cam yesterday. 2 of them. I thought it was done after the first one. The first one, Cam was doing most of the talking. And Cam was like, we have to get Izzy out. We take Izzy out. We cut off Cirie's power. Then we got the head of the snake. And then after we take out Izzy, then we get out Cirie. Then we get out Felicia. And then we get out Jared. That was the first conversation. The second conversation that they had, I don't know if America went and spoke to Corey and he gave her the okay, or if she just did this on her own. But she was telling him everything. She was telling him the reason why Red was mad at him. She was telling him that he was Jared's primary target, and Jared was upset that he used the power of veto and got off the block. She was telling him about the different alliances in the house. And she was saying, I trust you in this game even more than I trust Corey. I don't think that that's true that she trusts him in the game more than she trusts Corey. I think Corey is obviously her number one. But what I do think is that she's more in line with what Cam wants to do in the game. Personally, obviously, she likes Corey a lot more. But game-wise, I think she likes that Cam is on this, let's blow things up. Let's blow things up. She's on that. She's about that. She's been about that because she talks to Corey about those things. And Corey is like, America, here's the thing. America, here's the thing. If we do this, then this person could react like this. And then this person could react like this. And then that could put me and you on the block next to each other. So we can't do that. Whereas America is like, oh, this guy Cam is on go time. So I want to work with him. So she told him everything. And then he was like, we need to collect this person, this person, this person, this one, and this one, and that one to get Izzy to go. And America immediately left that HOH room and started the campaign. He started the campaign in the HOH room, and she started continued the campaign downstairs. She's his VP. He's the president of the Get Cirie Out of the House mission, and she's the vice president. She immediately went to Jag to try to get Jag on her side and say, I want you to work with myself and Corey and Cam. And she started telling Jag that Blue is untrustworthy, and Blue said that she would rather have Izzy in the house than Jag. Jag, of course, is such a loving, trusting guy that he was genuinely upset. He was like, what? Blue? What? Blue? There ain't no way that Blue would do that to me. And if she did, so he was like, how about the three of us get in a room? Because he loves this whole let's get in the room and let me look everybody in the eye thing. He was like, let's straighten this whole thing out with Blue. Me, you, and Blue in the room. And America was like, no, please, please, because if we confront Blue, then Blue could get mad at us. And let's say that Blue wins HOH next week, me and you could be on the block. Or if this gets to Jared, because Blue is close to Jared and Blue tells Jared, then Jared could put me and you on the block together. So don't tell her. It's classic manipulation tactics. Jared did the same thing last week when he told Cam a bunch of stuff about Red and said, Red a bunch of stuff about Cam and was like, don't ask Cam. It's the same thing that America is trying to do. Like, I'm giving you a bunch of information about Blue, but don't talk to Blue about it. Just take my word for it, because if you talk to Blue, she'll get mad and it'll be dangerous. This house is too... There's not enough independent thinking in this house, period. I want the house to be toxic. I want Jared and I'm so upset at how these people are so hesitant to confront people. We've seen Felicia confront a few people. We saw Izzy temporarily have a quick confrontation with Hyzam. That's it. That's it. I want them to go at it too. Oh yeah, they would. America is their darling. America is their darling. So the community is ripping the guy to shreds. I don't like the guy either. But people are being too much always. The community had an issue. Listen, I kind of learned this from the Facebook groups more than any other groups, because I started reading a lot of things I just added myself into some of the Facebook groups this year. And when I started reading the comments that they had about the house guests, and then I started looking at the demographics of the people who were saying those comments, I was like, I get it. I'm not even going to argue most of these things. There's a community for that, and I'm not really subscribed to that, obviously. Because I don't even like, there's definitely personality traits about Monty that I did not like, but not to the magnitude of the type of hate that he received. That was excessive. And David a lot. And Xavier was like, I said this the other day on the other post that I made, because they couldn't even really find anything on Xavier that was some kind of obvious standout point that they could just attack him for. They attacked his win instead, because it's like he presented himself like he was Barack Obama on the show. So we have nothing on the show to really go off of. So we're just gonna say he had an easy win. I mean, he was on the block like what, 5 times, something like that. He had to win multiple times to get himself off the block. He had to do an isolation. He spent the whole game having to downplay his threat level. He took the big moves. he was a big part of the big move to get Tiffany out first when they got to the final 6. Another huge move when he got Big D to vote out Kyland. And generally, there was a lot of fighting and bickering within that cookout. And he was always the one who usually was the level-headed one that solved a lot of those issues. Yes, see, and Davon, they're kind of in a similar type of category for me. But anyways, I kind of still think if I was a betting man, I still think that Felicia is still going to be the one to go. But I'm very interested because Cam made it very clear last night, not just to his allies, but to the people who are not his allies. He made it very clear to almost everybody in the house that he wants Izzy out of the house. He made it clear to almost everybody that he wants Izzy out of the house. So I'm curious to see, because now Izzy knows. Jared told him, and other people Jared told her, and other people told her. So I'm curious to see, with everything that America has been spilling and with everything that Cam has been spilling and how word is starting to go around and around the house, if today is going to finally be that day where the popcorn starts popping. You know how you put the popcorn in the microwave and it's nothing, and you're looking at the microwave and it's nothing. You hear nothing and you see nothing, and you're like, nothing is happening. That's Big Brother most of the time, especially this season for some reason. And then all of a sudden you hear that first kernel, like pop. And then next thing you know, it's like, I think this wild game of he said, she said has to lead to something happening. I don't know who it's going to be first, but today, tomorrow, there's so much tension in there right now. There's so much tension and unsaid things in that Big Brother house right now that somebody is going to explode. I'm hoping Izzy and Cam end up going at it. I'm hoping Jared and America end up going at it. I'm not here to watch Big Brother to see everyone pout in corners and just seclude each other and avoid each other. I'm here for the drama and for the fights. I'm here for the messiness. I'm here for all of that. As long as I'm watching from a safe distance, I would love a house meeting. It's funny because Cirie is always suggesting that. I don't know what always makes Cirie so confident to suggest meetings and house meetings. It would be amazing to watch because there's so much tension going on right now. Jag, at the very least today, Jag is gonna talk to Blue. There's no way that America being like, oh, you can't tell Blue is gonna not make Jag talk to Blue. Jag is definitely gonna try to straighten things with Blue because Blue is his A1 day one. I don't know if he's become closer to Matt, possibly, but I still think that ultimately he trusts Blue with his game. And I don't think he would let something like that go without having a conversation with her. So the Chatty Patty house is going to Chatty Patty. And I'm actually quite looking forward to these feeds today. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about with these feeds. I'm going to be on here for only another 5 minutes because this was just a quick update. And I do have to get back to work shortly, but great catching up with y'all. I am so excited to see what happens with America. I'm excited about the way that America is playing the game right now. I'm excited for the sloppiness that America is providing for us. I'm excited for it. And I want to see what happens when it all blows up in her face. And I want to see what Corey does. Is Corey going to try to do like a damage control to her? Or is he going to be like, I'm going to stand over here while all these grenades are hitting you? Because now his emotions are involved. He's invested. She's giving him kissing lessons. I would actually love to see that. I would love to see them sitting on the block next to each other and how that campaigning goes. More so for America than Corey. I don't think that I think Corey would be relatively tame sitting on that block. I think that America would be like, I'm blowing everything up in this mother effer. I hope Corey and America. I cringe at their showmance. I can't even hide it. This is one of the most cringe-worthy showmances that I've ever seen. But the Twitterverse is eating it up. I've seen so many video edits of the two of them, and I'm like, I guess there's people who really enjoy that. There's something for everyone. It's not for me, but it's for somebody. It's for somebody. So I'm going to see what happens today with all the live feeds. I think that it's going to be a very, very interesting day. It's going to be a very interesting day. I actually liked her more before the showmance as well. I'm not going to say she was my favorite house guest, but she was one of them. I have liked her a lot less after the showmance. And after the whole stuff with Corey and her and the swing bed, like that was just not, I didn't like that. And I know people will say, well, obviously he wanted it because now they're kissing and whatever, but what if he came in there? What if before he left home, him and his family had discussions about this already? And he said, because of our family name and also because of my morals and my integrity, and just because of my comfortability with those kind of things, I absolutely do not want to have any kind of hookup with anybody on Big Brother when I go on Big Brother. And he came in there convicted with that. And then he finds somebody, he likes her, he's interested in her, and he tells her, I have this rule. I don't want to do anything physical with somebody on the show. We can get together off the show or jury house, all that stuff that he was saying. My boundary is just, I want to just cuddle and I don't feel comfortable doing anything else. And they're like, come on, come on, come on. And then they're physically pushing it. They're physically pushing on top of him, literally touching him and doing things that, you know, are stimulating him to try to make him release or relinquish that boundary. And then he gives in. So then you're like, well, obviously he's enjoying it because now he keeps going back to it and they're making out every night or whatever. But that's now. That's in the now. You know, that's while he's in the house. There could be times when you do things and you enjoy them right now. And then later on, you're like, what am I doing? I wish I hadn't done that. And it could even make you feel a way about the person who pushed you to relinquish and release those boundaries. And then you could be like, then he might be like, I wish she had just respected what I had told her because now I feel a little differently about her, despite I may have enjoyed what we were doing, but I did not want to do it there. and I wish that I wasn't pushed to do it there. That's just my 2 cents. And I'm always willing to give my 2 cents. I don't really hear anyone else saying anything like that, but honestly, I just keep going back to, if this was a male that was doing the pushing, it would be a whole different ball game. It would be a whole different level of discussion. People would call it cringe. People would be calling for the guy to be kicked off the show. It's just an annoying double standard. In society, it's okay for a girl to be pushy when a guy doesn't want it. But if the roles are reversed, the guys are creepy. In my opinion, both ways are. Yeah, exactly. That's the way that I feel. So anyways, y'all, thank you guys for supporting me always. So it's creepy. I'm not gonna say that Cameron trying to hit on America is not creepy, but I'm also gonna say America is aware that Cameron is hitting on her and she's playing into it for the purposes of game. So, and I don't want anyone to try to compare it to me saying she should be hit on because she's talking game to him. I mean, she's actually aware, like she's talking to Corey about it and she's talked to people about it. Like, oh yeah, I flirt with Cam, like I'm doing what I have to do for the game. So it's not like Cam is flirting with her and she's telling him, I don't like this. Don't flirt with me. You know, this is not going anywhere, or I don't feel comfortable with the way you're talking to me or acting with me. She's telling him, like, you're so cool. Give me a hug. She's touching his arm, like she's sitting up real close to him and cozy, and you know, she's playing into that. So I think Cam's kind of creepy in general, but I think that in that instance, she's a part of that. She's a part of what's going on. And she's an active part of what's going on. I believe Cameron, America, and Corey love triangle may end up like Ian, Nicole, and Frank season 14 throwbacks. Cam scares me. I feel intimidated by him, even though he's thousands of miles away from me. And when he just sits there, the scary part is when he's talking, when somebody's talking to him, and he lifts the glasses and just does that. And he doesn't say anything, and he just keeps looking at them in their face and doesn't say one word. And then he does the same thing sometimes when he's sitting in the HOH room, or if he's sitting on a chair or a couch or whatever. And production loves zooming in on his face when he does it too. He just has this weird blank stare on his face where he's just staring off into the abyss. He doesn't look angry. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look sad. It's just a crazy scare. Ugh. Corey is not confrontational like Ian in season 14. Cam reminds me so much of Frank. Like even in his diary room sessions, I feel like he's staring into my soul. All right, y'all. Cameron has huge staring problems. It creeps me out. What's up, DM Rocks? All right, y'all. I'm hopping off, but I'm for sure going to be back here because I'm working from home again today for the first time in like 3-4 days after having to be in the office. And therefore, I'm going to have an eye on the feeds. And if anything happens, I'm going to be here to break the news. So thanks for your support. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. The algorithm is algorithming. My video last night got 1,000 views. The video 2 nights ago got 2,000 views. So we're moving on up. These were 30, 40 view videos, 50 view videos, no more than a month a month ago, less than a month ago. My subscribers right now, at last count, were, I think, 459. I'm going to double check before I get off because I like to give up-to-date numbers. Yeah, 459 subscribers, right? Oh, you guys can't see that. 459 subscribers, which is only 41 away from what I need to apply this channel for monetization. I still need a little bit more watch hours, but I'm almost at the subscriber requirement, which is really cool. Because at one point I was like, this channel is dragging. I almost wanted to just go right back to my mental health page and start doing all my content over there. But this page just started to pick up in the last week. So thank you all for that. Let me think about that. There's no show tonight, so I usually coincide my lives with when the show is on, and there's no episode tonight since it's Tuesday. But I'm pretty sure I'll be on here sometime in the afternoon. But if I don't end up getting on in the afternoon, I would say a good time to look out for a live from me would be 8. Yeah, I think a good time to look out for a live from me would be like 8 p.m. Eastern. Because I want to do it earlier than I usually do. Since there's no show on, I can do it a little earlier. I finish my exercise by like 6. That gives me enough time to eat, relax a little bit. And 8 o'clock. I think about 8 o'clock Eastern time, I'll schedule a live, and then I can give you guys updates of what happened throughout the day. Alrighty, so I'm headed off, and thanks for joining me.
So you literally were one of my very first followers, and then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But, yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on it.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
but
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
well, thank you. I